Hey, good morning, Debita. You're so quick. You are so quick in getting on the stream that I can't even understand. Give me a second. I'll set up the thumbnail for the stream still. Uh, what I that one. Yeah, okay. You're using in a the notifications for all my streams or videos. All right. Thank you for that. Keeps you updated what I'm doing here. All right. Uh, hey, good afternoon. It is morning for me, but 10 a.m. here. Um, Today the plan is to have a test race. First of all, uh, I had a chat with Rick yesterday. He should be joining a test race, but before the test race, I need to take the race settings here. It is fuel is one, tire 2, both quali and race. For tires, quali, fuel, all slipstream, real, light. Red Hawk, good morning. Trying to set up the race if I remember everything else on. Shortcut penalty, light, walk collision off, track limit normal, ghosting strong, and racing softs only. All right, I think I got it. So I'm going to set up a lobby. So if you want to join, feel free. Children to be fed. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Gray. Uh, this is a practice race for that for the evening. I'm going to stream the evening race as well. Most likely, I'm going to do only the first slot, like usual. Hey, Rick. Good morning. You're awake. I was waiting for you. Uh, no rush. I'm still on my way to or setting it up. I'll set it as a practice quality race. Let's have this. Oh, where is Rob? Good, very early morning to you, Rob. Go to bed, Rob. It is way too late for you. This is full course. We have 29 laps. I don't have any idea what's the weather setting, but I think the closest one would be from TD Stats. Let's have a look. they say here. SO3. Dry, cloudy, and pleasant. That suits me. And it's afternoon. Equal conditions mode off. Let's keep that there. Rolling start. EOP on. Brake balance. Slipstream. Real boost off. Visible damage. Mechanical damage. Light your consumption. 2. Tire wear. 1. No, other way around. What 9? Qualifier. Damn it, you can't put 7 minutes here. But that's stupid. 2. You're all. Group 3. Racing. Stop. Required type soft. And 50. Right, 50. Off. Weak. Off. On. Prohibited. Everything else should be on. Is this okay? Should be. All right. Hope that is even somewhere even close to the settings that there are. So if you feel like you want to join in, then feel free. Rob is probably not, but Rick wanted to have a test session. Let's have at least one. One lap of practice. I did some practice laps yesterday off stream as well, so I managed to do quite nice or semi-decent lap. It's so annoying track that, but I don't know. I've never really had any decent pace here. This thing. I need to put on my tire temps. Give me a sec. So I'm waiting for Yeah, Rob. Yeah, I have a ghost that is fast enough for me, not these alien ghosts. I did that yesterday. I have a ghost there. I'm struggling. The first sector is a mess for me. I just don't don't like it, or I can't get the car rotating to rotate there in the corners correctly, and S's entry is also very crucial. I always brake too much there and turn in too late. Hey Rick, you need to have something else. My nemesis is the last corner. It's so difficult to get right. It's my my cardinal sin is to brake too late, and if you brake too late in here, you're immediately losing a lot of time, because you're late on the apex and then you're late on the next apex, and oil change on BMW. Yeah, no worries. I think I've driven this last time. It was something like a month or two ago when I did the missions, the human comedy mission, the 30 lap endurance racing Group 3 cars against AI. So I can quite comfortably get into 158, but it's nowhere near enough uh, 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 for this nations race. We should be doing 55s, even 54s to be anywhere near competitive. So I'm not looking for a really good results here, but then again, it's Gires. Oh, Gires and his clickbait videos. Might have a look at it, yeah. But yeah, it's going to be 29 laps to this evening, so it's going to be interesting with tire change at least once, maybe twice, so it can be two-stop race. Thanks, Rob. I'm trying to be faster, but I I've been trying to learn from the fast guys. He has been a really good help in with his guide videos. Also, watching him race during his streams, that's been an inspiration for one. But then again, picking up little things on his way of driving and braking and turning in and throttle, how to use throttle. Susie has been helping me a lot during my streams, coaching me and giving me guidance on how to approach different cars and in different corners, and uh, especially on the braking. and turning into corners. Okay, we have a third player here as well. Tasnadi from that's Hungary, I think. Yeah. Let's give him a hello. Let's give everybody 5 minutes to get sorted out. Hey, Pumemelelo, or how do you pronounce it? Was it even close what I tried to do? I don't know what's the strategy. I'm trying to figure it out right now with this test race. Luckily, it's only racing racing softs. So run them as long as you feel like you are happy with them and happy with the pace, and then change to new set, either 1 or 2 stop strategy. Somebody else is joining. That's my guess as well. The tire wear is set ×2, so it's most likely 2-stop race. Yeah, it's. I'm not going to do full push through this test race. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out the tire strategy and getting familiar and comfortable with the track and car. I did something like maybe 20 laps in total yesterday, which is way less what I did for the previous race. For previous race, I did 2 test races, 30 laps each, and then at least the same amount of TT laps, so quali practice laps. So I need to do some quali practice. Same old, hey, good morning, welcome in. Let's welcome. Oh, Kenshi is trying to join the race. Somebody else is joining. Last warning for people that, hey, this is going to be, it's going to start. And hey, now I need to remember to join the quali myself as well. So, Timo, thank you for stopping by. Hey. Have fun. All right, hey, let's start the quali. Friends of my son are going to come here today, and we're going to have a kind of a exercise outdoors, clearing out some wood from the forest, or the branches and brushes. I cut down some 16 trees from the land that we have here for firewood, and all the branches are still laying there, and my son's friends are coming in and helping us to clean it up. So that's the schedule for this afternoon. Oops. So it's only one push lap. So Sebastian, good morning. Hey, thanks, Seb. Yeah, we reached 70 subscribers yesterday. Forgot to mention that in the description this morning, but let's put it in the race stream title. Celebrate the 70 subscribers. Yeah, it's racing softs only. Susie, good morning. End of lap 15. Drifting. Damn it. Okay, that's it. Everybody's still driving. Okay, let's give people time to end the quali. I'm not that concerned about my quali pace at this point. I would just want to have a feel for the car in race settings. Rob, do you remember what car Chester was using? Was it M6 or something else? Oh, okay. I thought it was already over, but yeah. I've subscribed to Chester as well, but I didn't see his stream in my feed before I started my own stream, so. The global leaderboard is full of M6s. Hey, Luke. Good morning. Welcome in. I'm just waiting for quali to finish. It's now. Should be over in 2 minutes. It's kind of stupid that you cannot set up lobbies exactly the same than the race settings are for today. I mean, the quali settings is either 5 or 10 minutes, and in the qualification it's 7 minutes for today's race in the evening, but whatever. Oh man, I messed it up. Market sprint, yeah, all right. seems like the fronts are the ones to look after. 15 laps with these softs. Oh, I forgot to turn there. I can already start feeling that the understeer creeping in. Yeah, it doesn't brake. You have to start braking way earlier already. Okay, thanks, Rob. Well, I'm pretty sure that I'm going for two-stop strategy. Hey, John. Hello. Good morning. Yeah, it's probably so, John. I'm just horrible in this track. No worries, Susie. Let's do one more. Use it to do dailies. Yeah, it's two-stopper for me at least. Forgot to press the don't refuel. Leb. First gear in turn 2. Let's try that. Don't hit that curb there. Bye, Debbie Thumb. Don't read the chat while I'm driving. That's a nice catch, Susie. Half a price for that is really nice. Theos! Good morning. Welcome in. How are you doing? Hey, thanks for stopping by, Rob. Good night. Sleep tight. maybe 9, 10 and 11 would be optimal. What tire strategy? Meaning the less fuel, well, I haven't been pushing at all, so the tires are way better condition now than they were in the first stint. Damn. No refueling this time around. but it seems pretty straightforward. Maybe not to 10 on the first stint. 9 is enough. Then 9. And maybe 11 in the end. Rich Racer, good morning. Or even 8 for the first stint. Hey, me too. Missing John's iRacing or whatever streams. I haven't seen any streaming from you, John, for a couple of weeks or more than a week now. I had the top chat on. I didn't even see all your messages. Just entertaining a thought. Would you be interested in seeing me doing something else than Gran Turismo? I don't have a PC, so I can't do iRacing or LMU, but other games. I was thinking about ACC or maybe later if and when Rensport comes out, would that be interesting? Apes. Well, of course I could maybe do some photo mode stuff, but I don't know. SDS, hey! Good morning. Welcome in. Yeah, pretty okay. We're going to have something like 10, 12-year-olds this afternoon here at my place and for our place and cleaning the mess I did with cutting down some 15, 16 trees a few weeks back, and now we need to clean out all the brush and branches that is left in the aftermath. So I've cut down and packed all the logs, and now they just need to be split out into firewood. So some pancakes as they compensation. Oh man, another forgot to turn there. No, I won't tell Pio that I've been cutting down trees. Thanks for stopping by, John. Was nice to have you here. Everybody was driving M6. There was somebody, I think, was using Lexus, but left the race somewhere around halfway. All right. There was quite a lot of tire wear left. And the last stint, but didn't feel that great. So I think something like 9, 10, 11. No, 11, 9, 10, 10. McLaren, it's not allowed. I think it was what was it? GTR, Lexus, M6, Genesis, one more. As soon as I get out of this spinning loop here. Yeah. We're checking network environment connected. Thank you. We're only 5. Rich Racer, thanks for joining in. Take care. Supra, yeah. Those 5 cars only allowed. Plus 20. Oh man, it's sunny. Some clouds in the sky here in southern Finland. I think the temperature is going to be somewhere around plus 15 this afternoon. It was a bit chilly this morning, but yeah, really nice weather, especially doing some work outside. Yeah, we won't have nowhere near as warm as you have there in the Netherlands, SDS. It is. For once, we've had some really chilly and cold days with a nasty northern wind throughout this week, but now it's getting warmer, and next week is going to be quite nice, up to not 20, but close to something like 16, 17 degrees in the afternoons. But yeah, Susie, McLaren is not allowed. It's only these 5 cars. And the global ranking is full of M6s. Only 2 Lexus, 3, 4 Lexus, and 1 Nismo DDR2 DDRs. Yeah. So it's going to be basically M6 one make race today. Actually, no SDS. It's during summertime. It's uh, quite nice. We rarely get up to 30 degrees. So typical summer weather is anything between 10 to 25, rarely up to 30 degrees Celsius. And it is, well, of course, it is more humid than it's currently, but it's not that bad at all. It depends quite a lot on the wind where it comes from. If it comes from east or southeast, then it can be really kind of a hot and humid when the air is coming from uh, the Russian uh, continental climate. So it brings in the hot and humid air into Finland, but everything else is basically quite nice and tolerable. Winters are nasty here in southern Finland because it's humid and cold, and we have winds here in the coastline, so it's not that pleasant. Up in the Lapland, in far north, it's way more pleasant, even though it's colder, but the air is way drier. But all right, hey, I think this is it for me today. This time around, hour and 45 minutes. No, it's not, Susie. It's not horrible. Mosquitoes depends on Susie. Hey, we don't have mosquitoes here at our place. Oh, minus 28. Easy peasy. T-shirt weather. But yeah, uh, I'll stop it here. Thanks for joining in. I'll be online again this evening, going to race one race uh, just to get some points in the tally. Uh, my pace is rubbish. I don't. I'm not comfortable with the car nor the track yet. So uh, I've killed them all around here where I live. I don't care about anywhere else, Susie. They are there for sure. But hey, thanks for joining in. All the likes, chat messages, and everything. Catch you in the next one this evening. Have a nice day. Take care. Bye now.